This is Ali88 and you're watching CANN.
Welcome to CANN News with I'm a reporter
and Simon Tomlinson. Tonight, we'll be focusing on Ebola and terrorist movements in Central Africa.
Next up, learn about illegal immigration in Angola from Chin Chong.
Illegal immigration has been a great problem in Angola for years. Diseases such as HIV and AIDS spread quickly between the high populations. Some other diseases were carried in by the immigrants. Money laundering, trafficking of human beings, and others were also seen. This, however, might change as the government begins to take actions of supervising the immigrants. According to the Provincial Department of Foreign and Migration Services, a total of 960 foreign citizens were expelled and 182 detained by the local authority over illegal stay. As an effect of these actions, 110 illegal immigrants from Democratic Republic of Congo left voluntarily the Angola Northern Cambina province from November 24th to December 1st. The government hopes to encourage more illegal immigration. The government hopes to encourage more illegal immigrants to leave the country voluntarily. The government hopes to encourage more illegal immigrants to leave the country voluntarily so the government wouldn't have to expel them by force.
Next up, in the Republic of Congo, an importer colonel has been sentenced to life in prison. Hear it from Diana Boss.
On September 11, 2014, Marcel Nitsero, a former colonel, military leader, and mayor, was sentenced to life imprisonment and hard labor. He was well known for bringing the current president of the Republic of Congo, Mr. Denis Sassou Nguesso, to power in 1997 after the Republic of Congo Civil War. However, due to his involvement in the March 2012 ammunition explosion, which killed 300 people, injured 2,300 people, and left 17,000 people homeless, he was demoted from colonel to soldier and fell out of favor with the public. Nitsero was convicted because when police came to search his home, he ordered his bodyguards to block and attack them, which resulted in 32 army members and bodyguards dying in a resulting gun battle. The police had come to search his home because a car that had been used to attack police patrol had been traced back to Mr. Nitsero's home in the center of the Republic of Congo, the capital, Brazzaville. Mr. Nitsero has maintained his innocence, and his lawyer has condemned his sentence, saying that the court did not consider the plea of self-defense and that the state did not bring any evidence to the court. The lawyer, Mr. Hervé Malonga, plans to appeal. This is Diana Boss, reporting from the Republic of Congo.
Moving on, in the Central African Republic, a rebel leader was caught. Just another guy with bullets in.
The United Nations had finally captured the rebel leader Mohamed Abdul Qadr. This rebel leader was a former Central African Republic official, however had ran away to Chad. He was one of the many that had ran away to Chad after Central African Republic's Castro community went into poverty. He had been on the Central African Republic's wanted list since last May.
Just another guy will also tell us all about how the U.S. is helping Equatorial Guinea.
Meanwhile, in Equatorial Guinea, the United States Centers for Disease Control have been providing education as well as resources. The CDC Foundation remains committed to giving education as well as resources to the front line of the Ebola battle. Many are voicing their thanks to the healthcare workers that have risked their lives to help the victims of Ebola.
Equatorial officer was killed. Just another guy has the details.
Second lieutenant of the Equatorial Army, Ngogo, was killed in front of his house on November 16th. Ngogo was killed because of his criticism of the Equatorial government. The second lieutenant of the Equatorial Army, Ngogo, was killed in front of his house on November 16th. Ngogo was killed because of his criticism of the Equatorial government, calling the Democratic Party of Equatorial Guinea as a farce and saying that perhaps it was time for President Ogbeng to leave power to his family.
Sharks, turtles, rays. Gabon has one of the most diverse marine in the whole world. And now, Gabon took a great step in protecting its marine ecosystem.
On Wednesday in Sydney, Australia, at the opening of the once-a-decade IUCN World Parks Congress, the Central African nation announced it would create a network of new marine protected areas amounting to 23% of its territorial waters and exclusive economic zone. According to Gabonese President Ali Bongo Ondimba, more than 18,000 square mile area will be protected from uncontrolled commercial fishing. The remainder of the exclusive economic zone will be divided into community, commercial fishing zones, and oil exclusion zones. The parks will protect more than 20 species of whales and dolphins, 4 species of marine turtles, and 20 species of sharks and rays. More than that, the park also helps the government to control legal fishing and make sure that there are jobs for fishermen and plenty of fish for people in Gabon to eat. At the same time, it will make it easier to apprehend those boats that are fishing illegally, which take up to 60% of the fish coming out of Gabon's water.
36 people have died in eastern DR Congo due to anonymous terrorist attacks on December 7th. Louis McCoy will tell us the details.
Suspected Ugandan rebels in the eastern DR Congo have hacked 36 people to death with machetes and axes, authorities said. The attack took overnight in the area of Beni in Kivu province. More than 250 people have died in the area, which followed a similar pattern. First, the assailants arrived during midnight armed with machetes and slaughtering residents, including women and children. The Allied Democratic Forces and the National Army for the Liberation of Uganda rebels are blamed for the attacks. Yay.
Meanwhile, in the capital, President Kabila has offered a plan to stop conflicts like this.
The president of DR Congo, Joseph Kabila, has recently announced the formation of a new unity government to prevent outside invasion in the country. But many question the actual purpose of the government because it is changing the country's constitution, and some say that it was for Kabila to run his third term as a president. Last month, 15 men accused of plotting to assassinate Mr. Kabila was acquitted by a South African court.
We hope that DR Congo retains serenity. Speaking of hope, DR Congo has declared itself free of deadly disease Ebola.
The Democratic Republic of Congo has declared its 3-month Ebola outbreak officially over after 42 days without a new recording of the disease. Congo's outbreak, which killed 49 out of 66 people infected in the remote northwestern Equator province, is unrelated to the outbreak in West Africa, which at least 8,000 people are known to have died on the worst Ebola outbreak on record. That's all from Louis McCoy in Democratic Republic of Congo.
And now, Kangaroo from Cameroon will give you an update about the breaking news of Cameroon schools closed due to the Boko Haram threats.
Cameroon has shut down 130 schools due to Boko Haram concerns. The Muslim extremists have increasingly targeted schools and colleges. Most students near the border have already been moved to country's interior. Boko Haram is an extremist Nigerian Islamist militant. Their radical officials are considering to relocate schools that are near the border so students can continue to learn.
Boko Haram's second attack in 2 days made Nigeria to work together with Chad. Ali 88 will tell us all about it.
Have killed 48 fishermen in the border of Chad. According to the remaining fishermen, Boko Haram have killed the people by using guns to avoid the attention of military forces. The victims are either throat cutted, drowned, or tied up. Troops from Nigeria, Niger, and Chad have been deployed to search for the remaining Boko Haram.
Boko Haram had killed 48 fishermen in Lake Chad, and this is where it is. Lake Chad has been disappearing for a long time, and now there's only a little bit. After his second major attack in 2 days, President Goodluck Jonathan from Nigeria visited the presidential palace in Chad. After a secret talk with Chadian President Idris Deby Itno, President Jonathan said that if the country don't cooperate, we will not find an easy way to win this battle. Because when the heat is strong in one country, the criminal and terrorists will go to another and hide. Later on, he added that, so we must work together, and we're discussing along that line. This is Ali 88 reporting from Chad.